World Zero has pets. Simulator games has tons of pets. But what if it's on Dungeon Quest? What's up, everyone? What are you guys playing lately? I've been playing All-Star Tower Defense at the moment, as you guys can see in my current content, while I'm literally just waiting for some major updates here on Dungeon Quest, probably, like a new dungeon, also in World Zero, but anyway, guys, just for the sake of my Dungeon Quest fans, come on, listen first. I'll never ever leave Dungeon Quest because this is where I started everything. So do not worry, guys, that much if you guys cannot see a lot of videos popping about Dungeon Quest. It's just hard to make some contents if there's no new content on the game itself. But yeah, on this video, we're going to talk about another what if, and that's gonna be what if we got pets here on Dungeon Quest. Before we get into the ideas of how pets can be added in the game, let's consider first why we will never ever get this kind of update. And I think one of the reason is it would be the additional lag. For some reason, I honestly lag more on Dungeon Quest than World Zero, and you see, I'm not in any way a developer, so I'm not sure if the lag was because of the assets that we have in the game that we need to load every time that we are playing. But I am sure y'all would agree that Dungeon Quest is most of the time laggier than those other games that you're playing. Maybe in Dungeon Quest you are laggy, but on some other games, when you go on to the other games, you will not lag, or you will probably not be as laggy as you are in Dungeon Quest. But since this is going to be a what if video, let's just say lag wouldn't be an issue and everything would be smooth. The first good thing about adding pets on the game would be more features. Developers can add more features, making the pets as probably a reward, or maybe giving us a mission, aka quest, to unlock pets. This would solve one of the biggest problems of the game currently, which is to make players stay and keep playing the game. Since pets would be a new big thing on the game, putting it as a reward on a probably daily or weekly task would be really good for the game, and this would yield to more online players count and would definitely help the game to stay active. Since on Dungeon Quest, gold cannot be traded, and if you are on an endgame players, you would actually find yourself having tons of extra gold. If they would put some twist on these pets, let's say we can use gold to upgrade these pets, or probably make us use our gold to actually get a pet, then that would probably make those endgame players more busier because at least they would now have something to grind again. This would also affect lower level players because it would now be more common to see more, some trash for gold trades or even trash for carries because gold would now be more relevant. Now that we already have plans on how to get pets and how can they probably make us obtain some pets, let's now talk about what do you guys think Dungeon Quest pets would do. If you have played simulator games, and I think most of you did because that's basically what Roblox 2020 was, normally pets gives a certain multiplier that can help you progress in the game, but that's on a simulator game. On Dungeon Quest, however, it could really be a lot more interesting. Here are some of those possible twists that I can probably think of. First of all of us should only be able to equip one pet. Only one pet at a time. Alright? Maybe they can also possibly introduce another new game pass wherein it would allow us to equip two pets at once. But yeah, this would make things easier to balance, and in this way, it would be less riskier because once in the dungeon game, guys, a dungeon game balance is really important, and if it's gonna be broken, then it would have a domino effect and probably would be a really big problem to solve, and it's gonna be really a lot harder. Anyway, let's now talk about the kinds of pets that we can or we might probably have. The very first one is, of course, the EXP pet. These would be the pets that can give us some sort of an additional EXP multiplier to make leveling up faster. I mean, of course, we're not talking about times 2 EXP, times 3 EXP, or times 5. You know, this shouldn't have to have like that very OP multiplier, but I think 1.1 to 1.5 times multiplier would be a decent additional. This kind of pet would really be good for those who doesn't have the capability to buy boost, but they have a lot of time to make their, to make their progress faster. But at the same time, giving those free-to-play players to feel that the game is giving something that you can get for free and not only for just spending Robux. That would be really nice. Next one would be Gold Pet. If you guys remember earlier, I have a suggestion that they should make gold more relevant, and if there's now a need for gold, this is just plain and simple, guys. If we now need more gold because we need to upgrade our pet or we need to hatch eggs to get pet, then use this pet to earn more for every run. As simple as that. We can also have Speed Pet. These pets gives additional moving speed while equipped. This would be good for fast runners and definitely would be a game changer for world records. It would also be an ideal pet for those aggros since having an aggro in a run was just introduced recently on the most recent update, on the most recent dungeon, Volcanic Chambers. Again, the additional moving speed doesn't mean that you will get like an OP amount of speed, but of course, the developers know what's the sweet spot to make it still balanced and to still make those skills that can give you additional moving speed relevant. Again, they know that they have to keep the balance or the difficulty balance in the dungeon, so they know what they are doing, guys. Do not really worry about that. But still, an additional moving speed even while you're walking would be a really interesting thing to have. Another good one would be a stat pet. Since on Dungeon Quest, we only have 3 different stats, that's gonna be physical stat, spell stat, and also stamina stat, we can also have 3 kinds of these stat pets. Of course, one would give an additional physical stats, the other one would be for spell stats, and there can also be a pet that can give you an additional stamina stat, which would be good not only for those guardians, but also to those DPS who got a bad stamina stats on their gears. Again, the developers can easily just balance this out depending on how much additional physical stats, because this cannot be like a multiplier. I think giving out a multiplier would be really a bit risky if you will really think about it, but yeah, it depends on the developers. This is just an idea anyway. Okay, last but not the least, that would be a luck pet. This would sound good for those players who thinks that they got the worst luck in the game. And if you're one of those players, well, they can actually make this pet to give additional luck on getting better drops. The more luckier players are, the more it would give the players morale, and of course, the more players would stay playing the game. I think that's one of the reasons why many new players are not really staying and playing the game that much till the end game, because they're thinking that they're always trash, they're thinking that they're always bad at the game, because the game is just way too hard for them to just even progress. I do understand that, but I hope that you would also understand why the difficulty of Dungeon Quest is really not that easy, because remember that easy dungeon game, aka Rumble Quest? Where is it now? Well, that would happen if a dungeon crawler game would be so easy. Now the big question is, guys, should these pets would be tradable? In my opinion, since it would be the first time to have these added on the game, it might be a better and safer option to just keep it account binded, just to make sure that it cannot be exploited, especially for those players who got a lot of alt accounts. On Dungeon Quest, it is really common for some grinders to have multiple alt accounts, since it can help them to get more loot every run without having to buy the +1 game pass. However, we have to also give them credit, because creating an alt account and leveling them up is not an easy task to do, so I guess it would just depend on the developers if they would want to make it tradable. But yeah, what do you guys think? I mean, not gonna lie, I really want to have another thing or anything new to grind other than the cosmetics, legendary, and purple set every single update. But yeah, imagine if pets also have pots, like potential. Let's say, for example, oh boy, I got like 1.2 times %. Oh, you got 1.3 times %. Your pet is better. Oh man, that would be really fun. And if it's gonna be tradable, man, the trading market would become big. Well, not only big, but big. Anyway, guys, I want to hear your thoughts as well about this, so please drop yours down in the comment section below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay cold. Peace out.